쌈썰이 오늘날 부자가 되었으니 이런 경사가 어디가 있느냐.
절시구 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 불쌍하고 가련한 사람들 박흥부를 찾아오소.
나도 날부터 기미를 졸란다.
얼씨구 얼씨구 절시구 얼씨구나. 얼씨구 절시구 지와다 좋네. 얼씨구나 절시구야.
우리 판소리 자체가 한 판이잖아요. 어우러져야 되잖아요. 또 가까이서 들으니까 우리 소리를 정말 즐길 수 있는 시간 너무 좋았습니다.
같이 따라 부를 수 있는 부분도 있고 시리랑 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 시리랑
늘 고판소 회원들과 함께 응원하고 가시는 길에 많은 발전의 길을 기원드립니다. 고맙습니다.
Time to set the facts straight. Get Korea right.
한반도에서 가장 먼저 아침이 시작되는 곳, 대한민국 최동단에 위치한 섬. 천연기념물 제336호로 지정된 자연유산. 이곳은 경상북도 울릉군 울릉읍 독도입니다. 그런데 일본이 대한민국 고유 영토인 독도를 일본 영토라며 일방적으로 주장하고 있어요. 그 때문에 독도와 관련된 잘못된 정보들이 퍼지고 있답니다. 안녕하세요. 저는 방크에서 활동하는 성혜승 연구원입니다. 방크는 1999년에 설립된 후 지속적으로 독도 바로 알리기 활동을 하고 있는데요. 지금부터 제가 독도에 대한 올바른 정보를 알려드리겠습니다. 독도는 역사적, 지리적, 국제법적으로 명백하게 대한민국 영토라고 할 수 있어요. 대한민국에 현존하는 가장 오래된 역사책인 삼국사기에 보면 독도는 신라 지증왕 13년, 그러니까 512년 전부터 한국 역사에 등장합니다. 대략 1500년 전부터 독도는 우리의 영토였던 거죠. 독도가 한국 땅이라는 역사적 증거는 이렇게 차고 넘쳐요. 지리적으로 살펴보면 일본 영토에서는 독도가 보이지 않지만 독도와 87km 떨어진 울릉도에서는 독도가 육안으로도 보일 정도로 가깝죠. 그리고 또 한 가지 중요한 사실. 독도에는 대한민국 독도경비대가 상주하고 있어요. 왜냐고요? 독도는 명백하게 대한민국이 지배하는 곳이니까요. 독도가 대한민국 고유의 영토라는 사실, 이제 확실히 아시겠죠? 바로 알리기. 여러분도 함께 해주세요.
저는 만 5살에 바이올린을 시작했는데요. 바이올린 소리를 워낙 좋아했어서 그 특유의 따뜻함과 약간 사람의 목소리 같은 목소리를 갖고 있거든요, 바이올린이. 저는 무대에 올랐을 때보다는 이제 혼자 연습할 때 더 큰 희열을 느끼는데 제가 표현하고자 하는 음악이 잘 나왔을 때 그때 가장 큰 기쁨을 느끼는 것 같아요. 그래서 저만의 색깔을 어떻게 하면 찾아갈 수 있을까 그걸 제일 많이 고민하는 것 같아요. 아무래도 연습을 할 때는 이제 생각과 고민을 많이 하는 반면에 무대에서 연주할 때는 정말 머릿속을 비우고 아무 생각도 안 하려고 하는 것 같아요. 무대에서는 자유롭게 콩쿨 무대도 저만의 독주라고 생각하는 자세를 가지려고 하고 있어요. 사실 바이올린과는 거의 제 인생의 대부분을 같이 해왔기 때문에 저를 힘들게 할 때도 많지만 제가 가장 사랑하고 아끼는 존재입니다. 작곡가가 전달하고 싶은 메시지와 또 제 자신이 관객들에게 전달하고 싶은 메시지를 모두 다 설득력 있게 잘 전달할 수 있는 그런 연주자가 되고 싶습니다.
The Korean wave is drawing more fans from all over the world. Local consumer prices continue to hover at the 2% since rate in April. Turning to robots to allow the visually impaired the chance to better indulge in cultural experiences. Like the number of hybrid cars are registered in South Korea has surpassed 2 million using this locally developed Yuri rocket.
아리랑
안녕하세요. Riding on the Korean wave. Welcome to Thursday's edition of The Culture Wave. I'm Kwon So-hwa in Seoul. Explore with us Korea's culture from all aspects and stay up to date with K-entertainment, K-festivals, K-fashion, K-everything. And we're going to do all of that together with my co-host Bella Kim in the studio. Hello, Bella.
Hi, Soa. And hello to everyone joining us today on The Culture Wave. I'm Bella, back again to co-host and fill you guys in with the latest in K-entertainment.
Bella, let's get right into our daily dose of K-entertainment news. And we're going to talk about a song. It's been almost a year now since it has been released, but it keeps reaching new heights. It is...
아파트 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 아파트. It's 아파트 by Rose of Blackpink and Bruno Mars. The music video for the hit song passed the 2 billion mark on YouTube on Thursday, the fastest for any K-pop music video to reach that milestone. This song was released last October, meaning that it took the video less than a year to reach the 2 billion mark. Rose has already hit 2 billion views with Blackpink's music videos Tudu Tudu and Kill This Love. And with this feat, she's now the only K-pop artist to reach the 2 billion mark with both solo and group music videos. Rose also recently won the Song of the Year with 아파트 at 2025 MTV Video Music Awards.
Wow, congratulations to Rose.
Right.
And we're going to stay with singers, but this time a rock ballad legend.
That is correct. Singer Im Jae-bum has released a new digital single, 인사, which translates to greeting in English. It's a pre-release track from his upcoming 8th full-length album, a first release in about 3 years since his last 7th full-length album, 7, 인사 is a pop gospel style track with a message of gratitude to his fans and a pledge for the future. Im first debuted in 1986 as the vocalist with hard rock band Shinawi and became a rock ballad legend with his solo hits including Soaring, Confession, and For You. He's actually celebrating his 4th-decade milestone this year. And to mark the 40th year of his career, he has also announced a nationwide concert tour titled I'm Im Jae-bum, starting on November 29th in Daegu.
Very happy about his comeback, especially because one of his songs, 너를 위해 or For You, is my go-to song when I go to 노래방 or singing room. But great to see him back. But we're going to wrap up now with a Netflix series.
Korean actors Kim Woo-bin and Suji will reunite in the upcoming Netflix series Genie Make a Wish. The series, written by Kim Eun-suk, who also wrote the hit release his series The Glory, brings the two beloved stars back together for the first time since Uncontrollably Fond back in 2016. Genie Make a Wish is a romantic comedy about a career-interrupted lamp spirit genie, of course, who is woken up after 1,000 years and meets a emotionless human, Ka-young. The two engage in a battle over 3 wishes. Genie is played by Kim Woo-bin and Ka-young is played by Suji. Genie Make a Wish will premiere on Netflix on October 3rd.
Well, from what I saw in the trailer, it doesn't look like the ordinary genie. But can't wait to watch it. And thank you very much, Bella, for today's stories.
My pleasure.
And now let's go over to our AI anchor, Ari, for more on the culture front. Ari?
Hello and welcome to your AI guide to the latest cultural updates from Korea. Here's our top story. The 2025 Seoul Hanok Week will kick off next week in Bukchon and Seochon, 2 of Seoul's most iconic Hanok neighborhoods. The annual event showcases the beauty of Hanok, or traditional Korean houses, through exhibitions, tours, performances, and immersive programs for visitors. This year's highlights include a lecture on Hanok garden design and open house tours guided by Hanok architects. Visitors can also take part in traditional tea tastings with experts and woodcraft workshops. Reservations and detailed information are available on the Seoul Hanok portal, hanok.seoul.go.kr. Seoul's first waterborne public transit service, the Hangang Bus, officially launched operations today. Conceived by Seoul Mayor Oh Se-hun, the service is designed to provide both an alternative commuting option during rush hours and a new tourism attraction for the city. 8 vessels will operate along 7 piers connecting Magok and Jamsil. Services will run 14 times a day at intervals of 60 to 90 minutes. Passengers can enjoy a variety of scenic views through panoramic windows, with a cafeteria also available on board. One-way fare for adults is 3,000 won. Gangwon-do Province has reopened the DMZ Peace Trail themed routes in 5 border counties. The routes, established alongside some ecological and historical significance within the demilitarized zone, were temporarily shut down in July and August due to summer heat. The themed trails feature 6 courses in total, allowing visitors to experience the DMZ's natural environment and enjoy mountain landscapes along the Baekdudaegan Range, as well as scenic views of surrounding rivers like Haegeumgang. That's all from me. Stay tuned to the Culture Wave.
Korea's biggest film festival, Busan International Film Festival, kicked off in the southeastern city of Busan on Wednesday. This year, BIFF is celebrating its 30th anniversary. Our culture correspondent Park Kwon-woo, who is at the site, has a rundown of the opening day and what we can expect during the 10-day voyage.
South Korea's southern port city of Busan has heated up, not because of the weather, but as star directors and actors walk the red carpet at the country's largest annual film festival. Among them were the main cast of the festival's opening film No Other Choice, Lee Byung-won and Son Ye-jin, as well as K-pop Demon Hunters director Maggie Kang and Frankenstein director Guillermo del Toro. 30 years, 30 stories. This year, the Busan International Film Festival is opening its new chapter in its cinematic journey. From its modest beginnings to today's grand stage, 3 decades of film history come alive here in Busan as the world now spotlights Korea's biggest film festival. South Korean star director Park Chan-wook's No Other Choice, which drew global attention after winning the International Audience Award at the Toronto International Film Festival, made its Asian premiere. The actors and director of the film expressed their excitement to finally share their hard work.
As an actor who'd worked on this film for a long time, I found it completely different every time I watched it, finding new details and mise-en-scene that I hadn't noticed before. It's truly a film that needs to be experienced in theaters.
Based on an American novel, the story was recreated in a Korean setting, reflecting themes of home ownership and patriarchy. Through this, the film portrays the limits and follies of the main character, something audiences will relate to.
On opening day, visitors flocked to the venue hours in advance, lining up for merchandise and rushing to reserve their seats.
I'm so excited because a lot of people and me myself, I think the lineup for Busan International Film Festival this year is especially really great. So I'm excited to see.
I've been coming for 5 straight years, but this seems like the biggest crowd so far. With the 30th anniversary, I'm expecting extended programs and richer content this year.
To mark the milestone, BIFF has prepared a range of special programs. One is the inaugural Busan Awards, a competition between 14 Asian movies taking place for the first time in the festival's history. They will be competing in 5 categories, including the Grand Prize and Best Director. This year also places a stronger focus on engaging audiences, with events more relevant to the visitors. A notable highlight will be the very first sing-along premiere of K-pop Demon Hunters in Korea. Altogether, the festival will showcase 241 films from 64 countries, promising global premieres and plenty of special programs to delight film fans worldwide. Park Kwon-woo, Arirang News, Busan.
For today's Culture Issues segment, we want to look at cultural exchange between Korea and the African continent. Recently, this whole Africa Festival served as a platform for Koreans to engage with Africa's diverse culture that was presented in the form of performances, food, a dance audition, a talk show, and the highlight, a Korea-Africa fashion show. We are joined today by 2 special guests to share the experience of the 8th Seoul Africa Festival Festival, the largest festival connected to Africa in Korea, which was held at Seoul's landmark Dongdaemun Design Plaza this year. And we have Joy Yoon-gi-myo, lead creative producer of the Seoul Africa Festival, and Florentina Agu, founder and designer of Her Tumba. So welcome to both of you. Welcome to the Culture Wave. So we actually met at the Seoul Africa Festival a few days ago as I was the MC at the event, but I'm so happy to see you guys back, and I have to say you look amazing in what you're wearing today, both of you.
Oh, that's amazing as you.
So let's start with an introduction of both of you. Let's start with you, Joy. So tell us about yourself and also what role you played at SAF.
Yes, my name is Joy Kim-Yo-yoon, and I'm the lead creative producer of the Seoul Africa Festival. And I've been actively engaging for the past 4 editions now. And this year, I've also was honored to creative produce the highlight of the festival, which is fashion show. So it's really, truly honored to connect culturally of Korea and Africa together.
And now let's move over to Florentina. So you flew all the way from Nigeria to be part of one of the main designers at the fashion show. So tell us a bit about yourself as well, and also what made you come here for this festival.
My name is Florentina Nneka Agu. I'm the founder and creative director of Her Tumba Fashion, and I've been doing this for about 5 years now. Basically, I'm building a sustainable brand from Lagos, Nigeria, and just my general passion for fashion and promoting Nigerian craftsmanship, creativity, and the work we do at Her Tumba was part of the reasons why I felt like SAF was such a perfect platform for us.
Excellent. And now this year already marks the 8th edition of SAF. And what's the purpose of this event or the mission? And also because you have been part of this for a long time now, you said the 4th year already. How do you feel about the development of the festival in the past years?
Yes, so we started this festival since 2016, so this year is our 8th edition now. And our sole main purpose is to change the narrative of how Africa has been portrayed as a fixed image mostly on the media through people-to-people exchange and cultural diplomacy. So yes, and since the beginning, we started with only a few partners together, but now we have been partnered with more than 200 organizations, partners, and the visitors also has grown from hundreds to currently now annual visitor is around 40,000 to 50,000 people annually. So we're really grateful for that growth so far.
Oh, you must be very proud when you see that big of attendance rate growing every year and year. So let's talk about the details of this SAF that just happened over the weekend. So what was different from the other events? Because I know in the last few years it happened at Pampo Hangang Park, and this time it was at DDP, Dongdaemun Design Plaza. So what was different, and did you really feel the interest grow by the Korean public regarding events where you share African culture?
Thank you for asking. So towards the 8th edition, we're now going into a decade, which is 10th edition, very soon in 2 years. And we have been gathering a lot of positive feedback from the visitors and the partners. So to implement that to this year's edition, we implemented 3 main points. And first is that as a continuation of the last year's Korea-Africa Summit, we have co-hosted with all the African group of ambassadors here in Korea. That's around 19 embassies here. So as a diplomatic exchange, this was a really true meaningful moment for us. And second of all, it was our first time ever to invite really well recognized and renowned African designers and bring them here to Korea to present their collection. So this year we were honored to invite Her Tumba from Nigeria and also Makosa from South Africa. So it was our first time to truly show that authentic side of the fashion to the audience, especially at DDP, which is the center of art, fashion, and art, so overall, yes.
And speaking of the renowned designers, let's turn to Florentina now. So as Joy just mentioned, the fashion show was the highlight of the Seoul Africa Festival, and it involved African designers like you and also Korean designers and Korean models and models from Africa. So how was it preparing for this fashion show, and also what did you want to express with your brand?
Okay, so in preparing, I think I really got to know more about Korea and connect with Korea as well. Nigeria is a country that was also colonized, and we are around the same age with Korea in terms of independence and culturally as well. I think something that Nigeria has is that we've been able to find ourselves and try to realign back with our culture before colonialism. So with the research I was doing before the show, I was able to connect that and just see that, okay, this is something that we share. And then coming here, I loved the way the models were cast. We had just as much African models and as much Korean models. The Korean models were so excited to wear African clothing and just to be exposed to African clothing and tradition, and the Nigerian models and the other African models as well. And as a designer, there's just nothing more beautiful than putting people who care about the clothes that you're making, you know, in those clothes. So I think, you know, that was just a really, really beautiful experience, just that general connection that we're able to make between both countries and even like Asia and Africa in general. Just seeing that really at the end of the day, there's one thread that connects both continents, you know, in terms of creativity, textiles, even the fashion as well. So I think culture, fashion is one of the strongest means of culture, of identity generally.
I also found it very interesting that you first of all, just as you mentioned, this fashion show, it really showed kind of the harmony. It was a perfect harmony between African countries and Korea. And it's also interesting that one of the attires, the traditional Korean attires, hanbok, they used Nigerian fabric, I heard. So that's also a very great example of collaboration. So what did you think of that, and also the Korean traditional hanbok attire?
I think it was very beautiful, and luckily Korea has a beautiful traditional attire that is very chic. And for us, for the collection, we actually worked with Korean silk. So we were able to get some Korean silk online, and we infused it with a Nigerian weaving technique called ashoke. We don't really have a lot of silk in Nigeria, but we have a lot of cotton. So we created textiles using cotton and Korean silk, which for me is just the greatest form of collaboration. There's no part of the world that has everything. If we really unify, we can just have a beautiful and safe planet where we get silk from Korea and cotton from Nigeria and music from Africa and movies from Korea, and like there's just all these beautiful things to be shared amongst one another as human beings.
Oh, beautifully said, Florentina. And you know, as a person who was at the event and actually watched your fashion show, I could not help but notice that when you were up on the stage, you teared up a little bit. So maybe could you share with us your emotions when you were there on stage?
Yeah, I mean, I'm such a strong woman. In Nigeria, we're taught to be strong because nobody's really coming to save you. But I think just being here, there was a softness that I found myself experiencing. First of all, from the organizers, who have been so welcoming. As an African creative, very few people invest in you. Very few people find you and also invest their time and energy into ensuring that you have a platform. So I have had to push for the past 5 years and to just be in a position where I'm being supported and the clothes are being shown and being appreciated to a level where I don't think I've really ever experienced. I just felt so welcomed, and I just felt so appreciated, and it just made me remember the journey of having to get here and everything I've been through. And even from growing up, my mom literally looked at me and said, "You are the child who will bring us out of poverty, and you will take us all over the world." And today, being 18 hours away from home by flights and being appreciated in this country where they don't even speak my language. I'm sorry, it was just a huge moment. It was just a huge moment, honestly. And the organizers, I can't even say thank you enough. They really made us feel welcome. They made us feel very special. And everybody in that audience also made us feel very loved and welcomed.
I am so happy to hear that, and that you felt welcome by the organizers. And one of those organizers is also our producer here, Joy. Let's turn over to you now. Joy, here in Korea, are there any other ways how you can experience African culture except for an annual festival?
Yes, I know this once a year. It's huge. Everyone comes here during that day. We're looking forward to this day. However, besides that, because we work with all the embassies here in Korea and also African diaspora, that's 18 embassies and also more than 15 African diaspora community here in Korea. They also put up effort to put up an annual events themselves that gather around. It's already a lot of events. So the second major one would be on the Africa Day, which is in May. So every May, all the embassies will have collaborative effort to have an event together to showcase also in a different aspects, such as film festival by Korea Africa Foundation, and also every embassy has a national celebration day, which if you check our Africa Insight page as well, you'll get to know which month you can actively involve with them. And last, if you really want to work closely with the African diaspora here in Korea, they always hold cultural events such as soccer match and different food-related events themselves. So what I recommend is to really make friends with all the African diaspora and their leaders here in Korea. You get to experience the real culture that is shared within the community there.
Okay, and just briefly, either Joy or Florentina, what kind of Korean events can you experience in Africa, or more specific in Nigeria, maybe?
Okay.
You? Okay.
Okay, so not in Nigeria, but in South Africa, there's like a K-pop event that happens in Botswana as well. There's a K-pop event. In Nigeria, there are very active K-pop fans who have like parties and who like dress up inspired by K-pop stars, and then Korean films. Even my partner is addicted to Korean movies, and every time I'm sure he can probably speak some Korean just from watching Korean films. And so yes, there's also the music. So I think the music and the film for Nigeria, those are like the biggest exchange where we're really actively addicted. And it's very interesting because when I was a child, it used to be Indian films, and it has very strongly shifted now to like where Nigerians, when they're watching Asian TV, it's actually Korean films. And yeah, so I think those are like the culture that we share actively in Nigeria, and then the K-pop parties just for the fans.
Great to hear that. And finally, Joy, there's been an increase in economic cooperation, cultural cooperation between Korea and African countries, especially ever since the first Korea-Africa summit that happened just last year. So do you feel now a growing sense of responsibility in, being a bridge between those cultures?
Yes. The fact that the Korea-Africa summit last year has been held and everything, that does encourage me and give me a more responsibility to make this platform even bigger, because now it's not just an event, it's an exchange of cultural diplomacy, and how even the people in each industry, like academic industry, diplomatic industry, how they change the perception and increase more partnership is also by changing their narrative, that the image they have about Africa. And I believe this platform can serve as that function for all the people that are actively in the industry. So yes, I do feel more responsibility to work harder to encourage Korea and Africa cultural exchange more overall.
All right. Thank you very much to both of you for joining us today. Thank you, Joy, for your role in making African culture more familiar to the Korean people. And thank you, Florentina, for sharing your story. And we wish you the best in the future.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
Thank you. And thank you for spending the past half an hour with us on The Culture Wave for your daily dose of K-culture issues.